Hello and welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Threesome podcast, the fantasy football podcast that enjoys itself but doesn't necessarily know what it's talking about. It's our 50th episode, boys.
Oh, the half century.
Oh, wow, we've made it.
Who knew? Heck?
Who knew that our 50th episode we'd be previewing England in the European Championship final?
Good
Exciting
grief.
times.
I mean, these are crazy times, boys. Crazy times. I don't know what's more crazy, England getting to a final or us making 50 episodes, to be honest, but we'll go with it.
Yeah.
Both very much against the odds.
Indeed. Quite, yeah.
How are you both doing, gentlemen? Mike, how are you?
I'm okay. Touch of a bad back, lads. I don't want to make a big thing of it, but yeah, sort of battling on. Disappointed with how my Euro fantasy season has tailed off. But I've gone as dramatic turnaround as I possibly can, I think. So yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. We'll talk about that. Ant, how are you, buddy?
Yes, mate. I'm all right. I'm a bit perplexed how we've got to the semi-finals final stage before I've actually sort of understood the rules.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to stick the knife in, but I'm still ahead of you.
Yeah.
which is quite confusing about the whole thing because I've completely blagged it. I'm not going to lie. But here we go. Yeah. But Phil, how are you, mate? I mean, you're looking quite resplendent with your flag draped around you there.
I'm merely here to irritate you.
No change there.
I'm all right. True. I had my my second Pfizer jab this morning.
Just a matter of time.
Yeah, well, this is it. I mean, as I dropped off our middle daughter to school this morning, a friend of ours, I saw her. She said, "Oh, you got a day off work?" And I said, "No, I'm just going to get my second jab." And she said, "Oh, yeah, when I Pfizer one, when I had mine." For about 24 hours after, I was horrendous, just absolutely awful, felt terrible, and the actual injection hurt more. She said it was awful. Anyway, have a good day.
Yeah, bye then. Good luck.
So I'm at this weird moment where I'm just waiting to be struck down. It's very odd. And even the lady who did the injection said most people feel ill for about 48 hours afterwards. So we'll wait and see what happens, but she said I should hopefully be better in time for the final.
I just want to come back to what you said because you mentioned there you're draping that flag to annoy us. I am
particularly
okay because I was say I am as Italian as you. If anything, I'm more Italian than you because I arrived first.
You arrived first, but you missed the Italian looks. Apart from the nose, you got a Roman nose, as we've discussed previously.
Brutal.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is to wind down up. And before we have this conversation again, I want England to win on Sunday. So,
but you did state during the semi-final that it is win-win for you.
Yeah, of course, I'll drop England like a stone. So, yeah, it is win-win for me. How was your semi-final Fantasy Euros game round, Anthony?
Well, it was mildly better than you boys, which is about all I can really take from it. So I finally played the old Limitless. Don't ask me who I brought in because I can't remember. But I did finally do some manual substitutions, boys.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, I know. Imagine that. So, I actually played the game right in that respect. So 37 points. Changed to Harry Kane as captain, who got 8 points. I had Morata, so Mike was absolutely loving this. So the beginning of the Spain-Italy game, I'd missed the team news. So about 2 minutes in, I brought Morata in, missed the team news, was watching, I was thinking, where is Morata? He must be playing. And then they mentioned that he wasn't. So was pretty angry about that. And then he came on and scored. So there you go, 5 points for him. Other than that, boys, it's pretty tragic. The only other person who got there's two other players who got more than two. That was Raheem Sterling, got 4, and Chiesa, who I thought was arguably Italy's best player, with 7. Other than that, Walker 2, Luke Shaw 2, John Stones 2, Donnarumma 3, Immobile, who is, I know he's now going to go and score in the final and to beat us, but he's looked pretty awful the last few games. He got 2. So, yeah, so 37 sounds like a really low score, but I then looked at the league and felt a little bit better because, I mean, Mike, over to you, mate. But
thanks.
You didn't get you didn't get 37 either.
Well, I didn't have any chips left to play, which did impact on me. I think I spent 4 points just putting my team together. But yeah, like yourself, really, Kane and Sterling were the only shining lights. Kane doubled up to 8 for me. Verratti nicked me 3 points, but outside of that, yeah, just 2s, 1s, and a 0 for Mailer. So work to be done ahead of this week if I'm going to turn it around, and I've had to go a bit left field, really.
Well, this is obviously something we're going to discuss. There's 3 options as to how you play this week. But we'll get onto that. I'll quickly tell you how my game it was. 28 points. I went I went balls out and captain Brathwaite because I would have loved it if he had England still won, but I would have loved it if he'd have got me some points. But alas,
Keegan.
He didn't. So yeah, the same as you, Chiesa, Sterling, Kane. They were my big points. But 28, I mean, much of a muchness really when you're this far in.
It added another dimension because the 3 of us were able to watch the semi-final together. It did add another dimension every time that Braithwaite kicked the ball out of play for no reason. Being able to give you a little bit of grief about it. So yeah, that was fun.
That.
Yeah, it was hard to watch it with you. And to be honest, it was hard to watch it anyway because we had Sam Matterface.
Thank you, Craig.
Didn't we? We had Sam Matterface commentating, and I mean, last night I was up late and I was going to create a clips. Some of his best comments from the game, but I was too tired. But particularly enjoyed him saying when we had a free kick about 10 yards inside their half, "Oh, this is Luke Shaw territory."
I think to sum up Sam Matterface, my dad, bless him, he doesn't really like football, but did watch it the other night and watches it when England are in a major tournament. Said how much he enjoyed the game, and particularly mentioned, he said, "Oh, that commentator though, what a complete idiot! What was he going on about?" And I was like, that pretty much sums up Sam Matterface.
Well, he spent the whole time trying to manufacture an iconic moment.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When Wolfenstone did the "They Think It's All Over, It Is Now," it was off the cuff. It was in the moment. You couldn't have pre-planned that. And I think he tries too hard. And then you've got the dullard that is Lee Dixon next to him. So he
prepared something for the end, hadn't he? He prepared a long spiel at the end, which turned into waffle. And he announced a bank holiday or something.
He told everyone to phone in sick. And then, ironically, I read in the paper someone did phone in sick to go to that game. Was seen on camera celebrating the goal and got sacked. So, well done, Sam Matterface. Good advice.
What did you think of the 2 semi-finals then?
I thought they were both really enjoyable, actually. And Spain. I mean, I know Morata scored, but they had so many chances. Spain were the better team, weren't they, boys? Would we agree on that?
Yeah,
I thought they played really well. But Italy, last few games they've not, I would suggest, played at their best, and they've still got the results. So I reckon that Sunday is going to go all the way, boys, to pens, unfortunately, which isn't going to be so good for our nerves, is it? But 2 pretty good teams, to be fair. England, they've had their criticism. If we been told after the Scotland game that we get to the final, I don't think anyone would have believed us.
No.
But fair play to Southgate. He stuck to his guns. This the cry for Grealish again, and he brought Grealish on and then took him off tactically. I don't think he was injured, was he?
Yeah, no, it was tactical. Yeah,
he's not afraid to make big decisions, and look where it's got him. So fair play to him. But it could go either way, boys. My head says that Italy are going to win it, but I've got a feeling it's going to all the way to pens.
Mike?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's exactly where it's going. I think there'll be maybe a 1-0 Italy, But I think there'll certainly not be more than a goal in it. I think it'll be a low scoring game, so it could be a 1-0 either side, or perhaps it's going to pens. And if it goes to pens, Donnarumma's got a bit of form, hasn't he?
And
he's very imposing, isn't he?
17 feet tall, I think it is.
Yeah. 17 feet.
I mean, the thing I spotted in those games were that Denmark and Italy, actually, when it came to having to make substitutions.
Oh, sorry, that's Sam Matterface.
He's not happy. He's not happy.
Sorry,
when it came to making subs, they didn't have too much quality to bring on, and it affected their game. Do you know what I mean? Denmark, when they made
Yeah.
their subs,
Yeah, it's true.
to me, that was the turning point because Denmark were all over England. And then when some of the legs got tired, they made the subs, and that really broke up that play that they were putting onto England, and we couldn't cope with.
I think England just about deserved it, didn't they? I know there's some controversy with the penalty. I've seen a lot of things subsequently on Twitter saying it was definitely a penalty. I know you boys didn't think it was at the time. I'd probably describe it as soft. But I mean, big slice of luck. First of all, with the actual award, which could have gone either way, but also Schmeichel, if he just palms that away, I think he was hit so badly that I think he actually tried to hold on to it, and that's what allowed the ball to pop out and come back to Kane. So massive slice of luck, boys. But we've all been witness to Lampard's goal against Germany. It was about 6 yards past the line and stuff like that. So I think we were probably due that. But
and with the penalty award, I think it turns England into an even. I mean, everyone hates the UK as a general rule, and England fans, but it makes it even worse that we knocked out the team which all of us have been wanting and willing to do well, and by a penalty decision like that. But Denmark, in that game when they restarted against Finland, they got a penalty, and it was a complete dive. He wasn't touched. I don't know how it went.
Than that.
Yeah, so it is swings and roundabouts, and none of us like to see it in the game, Danish fans or English fans, but that has happened.
It's the 3 S's, isn't it, with penalties? You've got the stonewall, you've got the soft, and you've got the see them given. All penalties fall into one of all penalties fall into one of those 3 categories.
Oh, something you've been trying to line up something iconic for our 50th episode.
There it is, lads. There it is. Yeah. Stonewall, soft, see them given.
Love
the
it.
3 S's.
Like it. I like that.
So, as it stands in our little league, our competition between us 3, I'm about 10 points ahead now, am I? Because the Braithwaite captaincy didn't work. 12 points ahead of you, Ant, is it?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, Mike, are you 5th? Are you on the ball? Yeah, that's you.
Out of us 3, he can't be 5th out of us 3.
Oh, sorry. I was 5th in the whole league, third of us 3. Yes, that's correct.
So, there's as far as I see it, there's 3 tactics which I want to discuss with you. One is from my position, I pretty much got to play it safe and go 50-50 on team selection, half Italian, roughly half English. It would probably be the safest option. If I'm trying to catch up, you're going to have to be bold and swing one way, aren't you? So maybe Ant, you might swing England's way. Mike might swing Italy's way, and then at least have, if England batter Italy, he's at least going to be happy that England have won.
You'll be surprised to hear that I won't know what's the maximum you're allowed from one team for the final.
8.
8. Okay, cool. Right. So yes.
So are you likely to? What are you planning on doing, Ant? If you want to catch me up, what's your plan? Because I'm probably gonna have to. I feel like this
is awkward because I feel like we're about to, show our cards. So
I'm going to show our cards, but Ant's then gonna forget his cards at work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
write rules.
I've written down what I'm doing here on a bit of paper to prove that I'm not cheating my way out of this. So Anthony, over to you.
At the moment, it's I can't match up with you because that's not going to get me anywhere. It's quite tight though, isn't it, boys? The trouble is, it's a lot of the same players in terms of we've got a very small pool of players to choose from. So it does feel like it's going to have to go one way. I think you're right.
It's tight between you guys. There's only 12 points in it, whereas as ever seems to be the case, I'm 36 points behind. So I
don't care what Mike does. Mike can go as rogue as he wants. I simply don't care.
Well, I'll tell you then.
The captaincy choice is going to be massive.
Yeah, huge. That could be the make. Well, that will be the make or break, I think.
And who are the obvious captaincy choices? You've got Kane, Sterling, Insigne. If we find out who's starting, Chiesa, Berardi if he starts.
I mean, Immobile, as we just said, he's not been good last few games, but could this be the time? Could he be the man for the final? Not many people captain him, I don't think, on current form. But if he suddenly comes good for the final, he might be a good one.
Or if you're behind, do you have to captain a defender?
Well, that's exactly what I've done.
Yeah, that's not a bad chat. I mean, there's not often. I mean, I might be wrong here, but it's normally low scoring out their finals because obviously for what's at stake. So that's a good shout. I would suggest. What about
tell you what I've
Pickers,
done, boys.
boys? What about Pickers?
Nah,
No.
I'll tell you what I've done.
I wouldn't trust Jordan Pickford to collect some eggs in the morning.
Well,
From
listen,
some
look,
chickens.
but look, the other night wasn't his best game, but he's been solid this tournament, and he hasn't made any mistakes.
I don't think he's had a great deal to do, has he? Really? Maybe a
but
save per game.
Yeah, I suppose.
He makes me nervous. He looks like he's had a few too many Ribenas before he's got on the pitch.
Well, there was that one brilliant moment in the semi-final where he just lobbed it at one of the Denmark players.
Yeah, that's twice. He did it twice, mate.
Yeah,
yeah, that's true. But I thought the criticism for the free kick was harsh. I just thought that was a brilliant free kick, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
I think it was hit so hard it annoyed me that they were looking to blame him for that. But yeah, true. Yeah, he's not had a great deal to do. I guess you'd argue what he has had to do. He's done all right, apart from chucking it to the opposition players a couple of times. But I don't know, boys. If he saves a penalty in the game. I'm going
to show you my cards, boys. So let me declare my team to you.
Please do.
So I've gone, and this is where it all rests. Back four of Italy, all Italy, and I've gone keeper Italy, and I've gone captain on Di Lorenzo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Because
he'll be up against Luke Shaw, won't he?
Yeah, he will. But nobody else, I don't think will have him. So I think people will go Bonucci and Chiellini over him first.
Oh, Chiellini.
And I think they'll go Emerson before him as well. So I think he's the least known quantity of those Italian defenders. So I think most people will probably be bypassing him as an option. So I've had to go for an Italian clean sheet. Those 5 players come in, and we're playing even Stevens then, because that'll give me 30 points. Yeah. So I'll be there or thereabouts with you two at that point. Then I need.
Assuming that none of our defenders play at all.
And then I need some magic.
My little face.
So if they keep a clean sheet and Lorenzo being my captain, that does actually draw me level. And then I just need like a goal from Barella, assisted by Insigne, and all of a sudden we're drawing.
So you've gone Italy heavy then?
I've gone Italy heavy.
Because I would say, looking at the squads, and it's rare for me to have any confidence of England. Looking at the squads, England they've got a stronger squad. Their bench, I honestly think the bench could have got to the quarterfinals. It's so strong.
Like for DCL to not even be in the squad for the semi-finals, quite nuts, really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
The 2 England players I've got outside of Kane, I've gone a little bit left field on them as well, just in case. I've gone for Mount and Saka.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good chance.
Obviously,
because they're a bit different.
Before the game kicks off, we're all going to be able to see the starting lineups. And if Anthony, looks at the clock, he might be able to. Of course, you have.
Did them last night.
Do you reckon there's an element to Saka because of his age, and Southgate might protect him at such a major event? Do you reckon he might play it safer with Sancho?
I mean, a semi-final was quite a major event, and he started.
That's true. Yeah,
and I think he trusts Saka more than he trusts Sancho, because I think Saka does track back and has played at wing back for Arsenal. So I think Saka will get the nod.
I mean, he's quite mad. It shows how much I know. I remember when Saka got announced as being in the squad. I do believe I messaged you boys saying, "How on earth is he in the squad?" And he's proved to be the real shining light. So he's certainly proved me wrong.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. So I think England have got the better squad. So if you're doing well, you take a good sort of even mix of Italy, versus England players, 5 and 6. If you're just a little bit behind, I think you chuck all your money on England and get all your 8 English players and hope they do well. And then Italy, if you really, really need to catch up. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sounds wise. It's very handy, isn't it, with this game that you can wait until the team news.
It's handy if you remember.
I was going to say it wasn't very handy for you in the last round. But...
Yeah, well, I mean, you are talking to a man who doesn't even understand the rules 7 weeks in. But yeah, that is quite a good advantage of FPL, isn't it? Because FPL, you do quite often take a punt. But so I will be leaving it to the last minute. But I think it's certainly a good plan you've got there, Phil. Yeah, I mean, it's nice at least that it's close and that you haven't just walked away with this, Phil, when you declared right from the start that this was purely for fun and you didn't actually care.
I mean, I agree with that. And Yeah, it is just a little bit of fun, isn't it? But part of me wants to go balls out on Italy, and then have that sort of feeling that if it doesn't work, then that means England have done well, and England have won it, and I'm not going to give a monkeys if if my Euro fantasy teams drop down a bit. If England have won the Euros, I'm going to be happy, aren't I?
My concern is that having won FPL and won it so well when you were over 100 points behind me with about 6 weeks to go.
Which season are you talking about? Because that's the same both the last 2 seasons.
Okay, well, either or. Look at his smug little face. All right, Pfizer boy. And then also win the Euros. Oh, I mean, we're going to be hearing about this until FPL starts all over again, boys.
Which will be next week.
Indeed.
Next week we'll start our previews. So do, keep listening. We'll be back next week for the Fantasy Premier League. I mean, I don't think I'm going to be very smug about this. I think the whole England narrative is going to override my level of smugness. And I don't think I've been too smug about the other ones either, have I? Okay, cool. Fair enough.
Mike, back me up here, please.
Yeah, there's been a touch of smugness.
So who would you say, if you had to pick 8 England players then, Ant, who would they be?
Well, I would actually go
funds allowing.
Okay, I would actually go Pickford because I don't think there'll be many goals in it, and not many people would think to pick him. Luke Shaw, Maguire, so gonna go defense heavy. Raheem Sterling, Kane, Saka, Mason Mount. Carl Walker was brilliant, actually, wasn't he, the other night? He was arguably one of our best players. Who else, boys? Who else? Maybe John Stones. Just go all defence, boys, because it could go. I reckon it could be 0-0, and all it depends.
It would have been easier to say which 3 players you wouldn't go for. So you're saying you're not going Declan Rice, you're not going Calvin Phillips, and you're not going.
Yeah, I can think of the other
a defender.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
So do you think that's what you're going to do?
I think so. I mean, I'm not going to show my hand fully because, like Mike said, it'd be nice to keep that a little bit of surprise. Try and get a little bit of tension into the game, mate. But we'll see. It's certainly given me food for thought.
What about you, Mike? If you were, going for that, would you be the same? Just don't get Rice or Phillips. There was a moment.
There's no value in there, is there?
Well, we were watching the game the other night, and the ball came out towards Phillips on the edge of the box, towards Rice on the edge of the box, and Mike very loudly shouted, "Hit it! You've got to hit that!" He does get around the edge of the box on set pieces. It wouldn't be impossible for him to score a goal.
No, it certainly wouldn't. And Phillips provided an assist in the first game, so they do have their moments. They don't just sit. But I think they'd be way down my pecking order.
Yeah, but if you're playing catch up, it's the sort of punt you need to make, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah.
Position you don't have to worry about, Phil.
Well, no, but I think it'll be a bit dull going, 50-50, and I'm not sure I'll be able to afford it. We've still only got 105 million in the bank. There's going to have to be some sort of compromise.
The fact you had Brathwaite as your captain for the semi shows that you're not someone who just plays it safe, I would suggest.
Yeah, I want to have a bit of fun with it, and I do love Giorgio, so I may well captain him.
He is a legend.
He's a hulking brute of a man, and I love the guy. And did you see the coin toss?
That's one of the highlights of the whole tournament, isn't it?
Amazing, absolutely amazing.
Poor old Alba. He was having none of that, was he?
The moment Chiellini picked up Alba and thrusted him in the air 3 times, that was it for Alba. He wasn't having any more.
No, he was mentally done, and maybe that was a bit of mind games from Chiellini as well, and not just because he's hilarious. Who knows? And if it was mind games, it worked. Because poor old Morata, when he stepped up to take that penalty, I mean, he looked like a scared schoolboy, didn't he? Bless him.
Yeah.
So, but bring it on, boys, bring it on.
So yeah, I think I'm going to go Italy. I think I'm going to captain Chiellini. I'll tell you now. There you go, Ant. There's your open goal.
Okay, thanks, mate.
So
one goal for England here, and I can rub my hands.
Yeah, one Declan Rice goal for England, ideally.
Yeah.
Then that would be good. And yeah, I mean it's crazy, isn't it? England being England being in the final, a lot of people are calling for Southgate's head after that Scotland game.
Well, it just feels surreal to me. You know, we've never had it in our lifetime. First time we've ever got to a European final. I mean, for crying out loud, the Germany game was the first time we won a knockout game in 90 minutes in a European Championship. So that's how bad we've been down the years. And if you think of the golden generation that people talk about with the likes of Becks and Shearer and all the rest of it, and how we never even made it half the time past the quarterfinals, it hasn't even sunk into me, to be honest with you. So, and I don't think it will do until we kick off on Sunday. So. It is mad. Did you see, boys, last night that Boris Johnson's actually talking about making Monday bank holiday if we win, but he will decide about 2 hours before Monday actually starts.
That's
classic Boris.
Classic BJ right there.
I mean, some will remember when he said people could go back to work. During these COVID times, Boris Johnson announced on Sunday. It was a Sunday evening. You've got to go back to work. Well, you can. Now workplaces are allowed to open up. As long as they're COVID safe. So he announced that on the Sunday and said, as of tomorrow, you can go back to work. Which, we have people we employ here, and including myself. And he didn't announce what COVID safe was until the Tuesday. So it's very much something Boris Johnson would do, and then deal with the consequences afterwards with a bit of bluster. But I can't see many, management staff or bosses going, "Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, bank holiday, that's fine." Yeah, maybe announce a bank holiday to celebrate a week later. I don't know, but you've got to win it first,
boys. Sorry to cut through your political hijinks, but I've got a quick game for us to finish with today. If that's okay.
Yes.
It's when I say a game. It's a game. It's a game. It's a game. So I just want to find out things you'd rather do than listen to Matterface on Sunday night. So yeah, you've got. Are you just gonna? I've got a few options for you here. I just want a yay or a nay. Okay. So would you rather watch the Matterface commentary of the Euros final, or would you fly to Mars with 17 2-year-olds?
Oh, I'd definitely do the latter. It'd be exciting to go to Mars, and the 2-year-olds, you probably just ditch them along the way.
Well, they sort of float away somewhere, wouldn't they?
Just chuck on the window.
They bounce. Purely at that age, they bounce.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like flying, but I'd still go with that over listening to Matterface.
Okay. Would you rather listen to Sam Matterface or have Borat perform open heart surgery on you?
I mean, that is effectively life or death.
Yeah.
Is he gonna? Do we know how successful the operation's going to be?
Yeah, you take your chances.
Yeah, I prefer to listen to Matterface.
No, Borat.
All right. Okay, Ant's going Borat. That's fine. Phil, we found your boundary. So you're now out.
Death is my boundary. I mean,
you're now out of the game. You're now out of the game. So now we see just where Ant's boundaries
how hardy he is. Yeah.
Well, if I'm not here next week, what's happened to me?
Yeah. Would you rather listen to Sam Matterface commentate the final of the Euros, or give birth to a sperm whale?
Oh, actually, I mean that sounds somehow more painful than open heart surgery by Borat.
Don't forget that baby sperm whales are going to be smaller than adult ones, Ant. So I reckon you could get it out.
Yeah, but just giving birth, I mean,
how small is a baby?
Women are heroes when it comes to giving birth, aren't they?
Well, you contemplate that, Ant, and I'll just have a look.
I'm going to give Matterface the benefit of the doubt with this one and suggest that he's actually not as bad as that. So I'm actually going to go Matterface.
Okay, well, baby sperm whales are 13 feet long, just so you know. So
yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, for Matterface.
I reckon, Ant, you might have produced things 13 feet long after a curry
or Domino's.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Okay, would you rather listen to Sam Matterface on Sunday night, or get a paper cut on your cornea?
Oh, that's worse than death. I think I prefer to die.
Yeah, neither. Is that an option?
No. And can I just confirm, because Matterface comes as a team with Dixon.
Oh yeah, it's very much a team game, isn't it? This
are they both there?
Oh yeah, they're both there. Yeah. I mean, Dicko's just sort of in the background, sort of mumbling, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The latter, I think. Wouldn't you, Phil?
No, I mean I wouldn't like to have a paper cut on my cornea.
Okay.
I wouldn't like to listen to Matterface.
Last one.
Oh, beautiful.
Wear a hot pink Borat mankini for the day, or listen to Sam Matterface.
Oh, I reckon I could pull that off. I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I would, but
I
reckon
really
could.
can pull it off. I mean, Phil could, so that's fine. He can do that, and I'll listen to Matterface while unfortunately having to look at Phil in a mankini.
All right.
Just confirm. You would prefer, therefore, you prefer to effectively die with open heart surgery than put on a mankini.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Well, so the good news, is we have no sperm whales with which to impregnate you. But I do have. This was just a ruse, really. I do have a hot pink mankini for Phil to wear at the next next YouTube screening of our podcast. So
good luck, Phil.
yeah, brilliant.
I people do not have visual for that.
And I'm with Phil on Sunday night, so I will make sure that he doesn't listen to Matterface.
I will be watching on the BBC.
Yeah. Is anybody going to watch on ITV? I mean, I can't wait for them to publish the viewing figures afterwards because I think it's going to be pretty low.
Well, they said Matterface said in his spiel at the end, book off. Don't be there on Monday. Have the day off on Monday. And he said, and make sure you come back here on Sunday. We won tonight. If you're superstitious, you want to stay with us. It's
Desperation.
Desperate.
If you're deaf, you want to stay with them. Anyway.
Lovely to see you, boys.
Lovely to see you too, boys. Look forward to it. It's coming home, and even if it's not, well, we'll have fun. And
even if it's not, mate, you look like you've got a lovely portion of chips that's just been hand delivered there for you.
Chips and mushy peas, yeah.
Oh god!
You, my friend, are winning. Congratulations.
Good luck to everyone in the last round of the Euro Fantasy game. We'll be back next week with our first look at the FPL planning season, which will be exciting. It'll be nice to focus on something else that hasn't got a sort of an instant result.
Yeah.
Indeed. Looking forward to it, boys.
And maybe this year, Ant, I'll give you a 200-point head start.
And maybe this year, shut up.
All
Enjoy
right.
your mankini, mate.
Yeah, thanks, lads. We'll see you next week with Phil in his hot pink mankini.
Bye-bye now.
See ya, bye.
Bye now.